Hey guys, welcome to Paul Bart's Garage. What we got going on today is y'all know that I put Proline lowering springs on here, E-Box, and lowered the car down substantially, a lot, 2.5 inches to be exact, and which I'm happy with the way the stance and everything looks. But if you run over anything, an ant going down the road, there's a chance that something's going to hit. But I did notice that whenever I hit bumps, as you can see right here and on the edge, that the fender well is hitting the tire. So unfortunately, probably what I'm going to have to do is buy a fender flare tool and run it through here and flare this up a little bit, because whenever I hit a big bump at a high mile an hour, it's hitting the tire, and I'm just worried that I'm going to have a blowout or it's going to make me wreck. But anyway, I was coming home from work the other night, and I don't know if it was a possum or a small fawn or whatever it was. Somebody had run over it in the road, and I hit it and at about 60 miles an hour. And luckily, I don't know how, because of how thick it was and swollen it was, that I didn't actually hit it with the front of my car. That was surprising. I thought, oh my God. I mean, I couldn't get over near the lane because there was a car there without sideswiping, and I just knew I was going to tear my whole front spoiler off and mess my car up. But when it went under, it was a big boom, and I pulled over and looked, and I didn't see any damage on the front end. But up under the car, that's what I was worried. But I drove it back home, parked it last night, and now I've got it on the jack stands, or not jack stands, but ramps, and I want to get up under here and see if there's any damage, and hopefully not, because whatever it was at 60 miles an hour, it almost put my car at a dead stop when it hit, and at which I see way down there, which y'all probably can't see, but the exhaust and everything looks good, and but I think where it hit is where the transmission or not the mount, but the bracket that goes over the transmission. I think when it hit, that's what it hit, because that's the only thing low enough, I believe, that it could have hit. I thought maybe it might have hit my mufflers or something, but everything there looks fine. Rear end looks good. Let's look a bit closer. Rear end looks good. There's no apparent cracks or anything in it that I can see. Probably need to put my glasses on where I can really look at it. And of course, you see the E-Box lowering springs, Proline springs installed there. And I like getting up under here periodically and just making sure all the bolts I took out, or me and my brother-in-law or son-in-law took out. John, if you're watching the video, thank you, bud. And he really did a lot, or most of the work, actually. He's a really good helper, and I owe the install to him, because I actually did the front left, and I was like, man, this is going to be a long night doing this by myself. I need to put my glasses on and look at that right there, and because I'm about half blind, folks. Let's see here. Let's get them on and see what that is. Well, see, there's a bolt that goes in right there, and it's threaded, so I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not. Looks like it's supposed to be like that, because they come out the back here. It may just be the casting. When I first saw it, I thought, the axles look good, but it's got the half shaft axles in it. No leaking out, torn boots or anything. But as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like it's done any damage to the car up under here. But man, when it hit, it was a thud like you wouldn't believe, and it, like I said, it nearly stopped my car at 60 miles an hour. But if you notice, you can tell half the pipe up that way from the manifold all the way to the Flowmaster 10 series mufflers is 3-inch pipe. And then for some reason, when I took the car to the shop, I guess instead of the guy actually getting up here and measuring the pipe and everything, ran 2 1/4-inch pipe from the Flowmaster's back, which I was kind of upset about. I paid over $450 for them to to run the pipes from the Flowmasters, back to these tips. He said there were U-Power tips, but most of the U-Power tips that I've looked at actually has the name engraved on the top up here, or actually on the lip of this powder coated, or not powder coated, but ceramic coated part, and I don't see anything on there, and he charged me like $120 for them, just the tips. So I'm not too sure about that, but I'm not really happy about the bends in this pipe either. I mean, as you can see, I mean, there's a bend there, there, it's stretched, there. Just my opinion, it just really wasn't a good job. It wasn't $450 worth. I mean, I don't know how much, how long these pipes were originally, 6 foot. Looks like he used 2 of them and about 6 clamps, and it was $450. I could have bought a catback system almost for that. But it is what it is. I was desperate to get them on because all I had was the Super 10 Series Flowmasters on here, and they were super duper loud, and it was just getting on my nerves. I do notice that my engine cover down there, the skid plate down there, or the little cover down there, is missing a bolt. It looks like it might not be in there. All I can actually, I think, see the bolt sticking in it, but I need to raise the front up and put that in there because that's getting on my nerves. As I noticed it the other day when I was looking, something was hanging down. I looked and it was that cover, but it doesn't look like anything is damaged or could have been actually damaged, because everything has some kind of skid plate or some kind of mounting bracket up under it. But the spring looks good in the back on this side. It doesn't look like it's come out of no boot or anything that I could tell, because really all you're doing is taking that bolt and that bolt out, and kind of just dropping this down with a jack up under it, and then pulling your spring and everything out, and then putting your boots off your old spring onto your new spring and seating it in there where it originally was, and then jacking it up, and then you and another person finagling these bolts in and tighten them up. That's really all there is in the rear. The front's a little more time intensive, and it takes a little more time to do, but I had the left front done in probably about an hour. It's not really that bad of an install. You can do it. The one install I'm dreading is the headers. I'm debating on whether installing these JBA long tubes. The only reason why I don't have them on already, or tried to install already, is because I need the catless mid pipe. Because I'm scared to have some made, because as you can see, I spent $450 for these 2 pipes, and I hate the way they look. It's like a 15 yard 15 yards, it looks good when you're looking at the rear end, but when you get up to it and actually start looking at where the metal is actually stretched, because it's not mineral bent, it just looks hideous. And even the brackets he used looks hideous. I mean, the way that he done them, just not happy with it at all. And I even had the box with all the original factory hangers in it that I asked him to use, which he didn't use, and he actually kept them. So somebody out there's probably got, some brand new, or not brand new, but my old hangers on their car, and it probably looks hell of a lot better. But another thing I want to look at is the drive shaft. Sometimes I don't like the 2-piece drive shaft. I'm gonna get a 1-piece at one point in time, because right in the middle it's I guess right in the middle is I forget what they call them. A lot of you guys may know what I'm talking about, but it spins around in the middle, and then it's got another half of axle that goes up to the transmission that spins around on that. I can't remember what it's called, guys, but I've replaced them in a GTO before, and but that's kind of what I was wanting to look at, which everything on it looks pretty good. If you guys can see it, that's kind of what I'm looking at. In the middle, but you can't see it because it's got a skid plate or something up under it. I really need to get a flashlight and look at it. That thing is bad about going out and you having to replace them, and they're a pain in the butt to get out. It took 3 people half a day to get it out and replace it. When I replaced it, I can't remember what part it was, guys. I probably remembered after I stopped the video. But anyway, I plan on getting me some camber bushings and putting in here on both sides in the rear so that I can adjust the camber. And then they make a camber bushing kit that you can buy for the front end. I'm going to buy at one point in time and put in too. And anyway, everything looks okay as far as I can see. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I just wanted to check to make sure I didn't have no damage, which I don't really see any. I don't see where it could have done anything. I'm thinking it hit the transmission bracket up there when it come through, because I don't see anywhere else it could have hit. But anyway, guys, this is Paul Barks Garage. Peace out, bye.